What is going on, everybody? It's your boy SailorturntGamer, and we are back in the building coming at you with another Dauntless video. Yes, we're coming at you with details on the latest patch note 0.6.10. I can't believe we've made it this far. But with the latest patch notes, they introduced the Flight of the Ruin Axe special, increased Aether drop cap from 200 to 2,000, and made it a lot easier to do things like gathering consumable items with just a click of a button. There's tons and tons of quality of life changes, and they are balance changes that exist within the patch as well. They made some sword changes too. This was a pretty beefy, a pretty meaty patch note. Not only are we back with covering Dauntless patch notes, but we are coming with more news as well. I'll have a Dauntless video tomorrow you guys can check out as well with the new mastery system, and that's going to be really awesome. We're back better than ever, and I cannot wait to continue this train of Dauntless and Anthem content. If you guys like the video or like the content that we put out here at SailorturntGamer, be sure to like and share the video, but join the fleet as well. It's an easy process. Just hit that subscriber button and you'll be a part of this fantastic fleet. We're on our way to 100 subscribers and gaining our very own URL. Be sure to hit that button, join the fleet. And without any further ado, let's hop into the video and let's get these patch notes going. All right, peace. Okay, so our latest patch notes for Dauntless, patch note 0.6.10. We're introducing the Flight of Ruin Axe special, increasing the aetherdust cap to 2,000, enabling a one-press gathering, and a whole lot more. So yeah, let's dive into it. First things up is the axe changes. So for the axe, they have Flight of Ruin. The axe, Great Axe special has been replaced by Flight of Ruin. To perform Flight of Ruin, press your default buttons, either Q or RB. I play with a controller, so RB is going to be that choice. Using your RB, you're going to activate the Flight of Ruin. That's going to give you a cooldown afterwards. Flight of Ruin can be used anytime it's off cooldown, regardless of your meter, so it's pretty great. It's a great move where you throw your axe, and it comes and attacks the enemies in like a little boomerang kind of thing. It's pretty awesome. And then you have your Flight of Ruin throws the axe at a far distance, damaging behemoths while traveling. Upon reaching a maximum distance, the axe will return to the slayer, damage a behemoth as well. It's a cool, really cool boomerang effect. You guys are already going to be watching me using this ability throughout the footage, so whenever you see me throwing that axe, that's Flight of Ruin. Flight of Ruin may be reactivated at any point to instantly recall the axe to do a powerful overhead slam. It's pretty cool. You guys are going to see me using that very often as well. If the Slayer is not at full meter, dealing damage with the recall attack will generate meter. If the Slayer is at full meter, dealing damage will recall the attack, and that will grant a stack of determination, which will increase all damage by the Slayer. When at full meter, Flight of Ruin's recall attack will deal bonus damage, increasing further with each stack of determination. It's pretty cool. So they made some changes to the meter as well. As far as meter changes, the axe charge attack now increases meter gain from subsequent attacks additively instead of overriding the previous charge values. The more charging you do, the more meter you'll gain from the attacks and the combos. Charge attacks have been adjusted to, and they account for the Flight of Ruin's meter gain. So the axe has a complete rework. It's pretty awesome. Now, as far as the sword, which is what we're moving on to right now, they extended the combo input window for swords. Slayers should now be able to more reliably input and chain combos together. Also, they increased the speed at which sword users are able to transition in at the end of their combos and start new combos. So it's a lot more combo heavy with the sword. They rebalanced all combo damage. Damage from a full secondary combo is now close to the damage from a full primary combo, and crossover combo damage has been boosted. They reduced damage on all attacks to balance out the combo speed increases, and then it's just a little bit though. They slightly did that. Also, they slightly reduced the damage on heavy attack slices while in overdrive. So they made some changes to the sword as well to put that in a great position. And we have tons of quality of life changes as well, and balance changes. First up, we are going to address the balance changes. And so, the very first balance change that we have on our hands is an increase to the amount of time that it takes for your behemoth to flee. It gives slayers a chance to end the fight a lot quicker. If the behemoth does succeed in fleeing, it will regain 20% of its health. These changes should have slayers reduce that headache that you get from chasing the behemoth, only to have it die in a few hits. So that used to be kind of annoying because you would fight these guys for a while and it was fun. But when they run and you finally catch up to them, it's like 2 or 3 hits and they're dead. So they buffed its health, at least allowed it to regain a percentage of health to continue the fight for a little bit. So it's a lot more dynamic and fun. Let me know what you guys think of that if you guys been playing Dauntless. Cunning is now based on a chance to critically strike and will no longer deal double damage. Critical strikes now have a special treatment on their damage text. Cunning critical strikes have been increased to 2, 4, 6, 9, 12, and 15%, which they upped it from its previous 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 10%. So it's great. If you got a max cunning, you are now doing 5% more as far as the chance at actually getting that cunning to actually activate. So that's pretty great. A buff to the cunning cell. One of my main builds utilizes cunning, so that build actually got a buff. Again, to go over that, cunning is now based on a chance to critically strike and will no longer deal double damage. Critical strikes now have their own damage text. So if you increase your cunning, you're going to be doing more critical strikes a lot more often. So more critical strikes, more damage. It's a great thing. So we have a huge list of quality of life changes, and I want to address those right now. So as far as the quality of life changes that we have, they raised the inventory cap. We talked about that in a little summary. They raised that up from 200 to 2,000. So it's a huge increase on that end. They fixed a couple bugs, a lot of bugs, but the first two we're going to address. They fixed the bug where the iceborne cells will not be obtained from cores. The middleman has also added an iceborne cell to this week's rotation. So that's something you guys can get at it and get. Well, it's there. They fixed the bug in sword overdrive mode where dodge attacks will not perform a special attack slice. Slayers will no longer see rams while out on hunts. They fixed the bug that caused transmog weapons to display the texture from the original weapon. Slayers can now collect wild plants and mushrooms with a single button press, no more holding down the E key or holding down the actual button on the controller anymore. You can just press one button and you can get it all, so you can get to going. Hunt past gatherables, things like aether sprouts and red roses, they can now be gathered with a single button as well. Gathering wild plants and mushrooms will no longer slow your movement, so you can just keep it going. They made the airship display of behemoth strength and weaknesses much easier to understand. So once you hop in that airship, maybe you made a mistake on your build, you can change it up before you actually get in there. It's pretty great. So as far as Heroic Valamir, he will now correctly spawn satellites when entering an enraged state. They fixed the bug where Shroud clones could have elemental status effects inflicted on them while they first spawned. Gamepad users can now open cores without reaching for a mouse, which is great. I use the gamepad very, very often, exclusively, really. They made some polishes to Valamir's rage exit animations. They reduced loading times when transitioning to and from Ramsgate, which is awesome. Basically, the overall performance of Ramsgate has been increased, so that is phenomenal. Happy to see that that is a change that exists in the game. They fixed the bug where cell names could extend beyond the crafting UI. Wow, it's a lot of huge changes here. Quests with multiple optional objectives. Those things will now make it clear that only some objectives may need to be completed if need be. They cleaned up a few remaining mentions of notes, so Rams is the overall currency, and that is official. You got Rams, I got Rams, we all got Rams. Rams for days, except for outside in the open wild. But other than that, we got Rams for days. They fixed a couple of bugs. So they fixed the bug where Boreas could awkwardly reposition when enraged. They fixed the bug where Boreas ground stomps and might not deal damage. Attempting to purchase a sale slot without adequate platinum will now display the correct message instead of something improper. They made more changes to the middleman's UI. They polished up some things, fixed some more bugs where recovery animations and stuff could be placed in. There are tons and tons and tons of bugs, guys, that have been squashed like these guys know how to do best. Gregario's stall now correctly reflects the current content of the Hunt Pass, so you can stop by, take a quick look at what he got going on. The Wildlands flute emote song will now be more audible to people standing near the flute player. Slayers who leave the audio range of the flute can now return to the range to hear it again. It's great. Previously, what used to happen is that this song would just cut out permanently, so you wouldn't be able to hear it anymore. And now you can come back and hear it anytime you want. So if you're loving that flute music, there's some flute music for you. The gamepad rumble features will now play more reliably when a player hits a behemoth. The gamepad's rumble will no longer trigger if a player in your party takes damage. And they added in previously missing sound effects to Rezakiri's tail swipe attack. There are tons of changes to the game that were small quality of life things that you guys are going to love. I covered most of them here, and for the sake of time in the video, if you guys really want to dive into these patch notes, I will leave a link in the description box below, and I implore you to please check these out because there are tons of quality of life changes here you guys can dive into and just enjoy. I want to say that the changes that were made to the axe, they feel phenomenal. I'm not a huge axe fan, but with the changes that were put in place, if you guys are watching the gameplay, I'm having fun. That's something that you guys probably can't tell from that, but I'm enjoying it. I think the axe has really made strides forward to make it just a funner weapon for anybody that may not enjoy it. And I'm excited just to continue to play this game. It's going in a very, very positive direction. And we got some big things coming to Dauntless as well. So stay tuned to the channel so you guys can always remain up to date. Got another Dauntless video coming out tomorrow. So yeah, be sure to check that out, guys. It's going to be phenomenal. Can't wait for you guys to get your hands on that as well. Lastly, if anybody made it this far in the video, I just want to say thank you. Continue to stay here for all things Dauntless. If you guys enjoy the video, again, guys, give it a like and a share. And join the fleet by hitting that sub button. We're on our way to 100 subscribers, which will give us our own URL. So we'll be youtube.com/SailorturntGamer. And we will be official and one step towards continued growth. I appreciate you guys. And until then, this sailor will be out in the open ocean. Peace.